Darrell Pryzbylla, where are we?
Between Independence and Whitehall, locals would know it as the 186 bridge. It used to be a Legion 186 post building.
Right. And what's going on?
We're constructing a canoe landing to tie in with the other four between Whitehall and Petrix Park. They just started it a couple days ago. They'll be done with it probably today or tomorrow. It's land that the Rod and Gun Club had purchased in the last winter. And it had been used a little bit as a canoe landing, but the bank was steep like you see here.
Yeah.
And they're putting a parking lot in with a cement launch or ramp into the water with parking and primitive camping if you'd like.
Oh, really?
Like yeah,
and camping
that's
too.
optional.
Okay. Yeah. And what will people be launching here?
Canoes and kayaks. The river isn't really suitable for any kind of motorboat traffic.
Barges or anything.
I don't think we'll see a lot of that. I suspect not.
No.
Right now the river's about where it normally would be, average probably flow, and it's probably no more than 2 feet deep from one side to the other.
Okay. And what river is this?
Trempealeau River.
This is the Trempealeau River.
We're about halfway between Whitehall and Independence. There's going to be the Lions Club in Whitehall is putting a newer landing in also at the park by the city building.
Is that Larson Park? Colonel Larson Park?
One or the other, yeah. They're going to enhance that one next spring. Then there's one in Independence that's in really, really good shape at Four Seasons Park. There's another at the crossroads between Independence and Arcadia.
Yeah.
It's the first road out of Independence towards Arcadia. And then the one at Petrix Park is going to be refurbished and made more usable, user-friendly.
And you said the one that's out closer to Petrix Park is already finished.
That's another one. This one is going to be basically modeled after that one. The park, it'll look a lot alike that one when it's finished next spring. We'll when this is finished, this will all be seeded and mulched, so there won't be any erosion. And a year from now, it should look just about exactly like that one. There's a couple picnic tables and a parking area and some signage. Well,
this is kind of an interesting project. And Darrell is a representative of what club?
Oh yeah, this whole thing is sponsored by the Independence Elk Rod and Gun Club. We aren't using any tax dollars or any money like that. It's strictly Elk Rod and Gun Club funds. We purchased the land and are doing all the improvements on it. We actually purchased 11 acres here. It goes from the bridge to the town of Lincoln shop, and the Trempealeau River is the other border. And there's walking trails. No motorized vehicles beyond the gate, but it's open for any kind of public use. Walking, snowshoeing, hiking, maybe a little hunting. The location isn't really good for that along the highway, but it's there for whatever you decide to use it for.
Now, do people ever go fishing here?
You could, yeah. In fact, there's a lot of fish in the Trempealeau River, maybe more than people realize. But it's not utilized very much. And we hope that's another thing. I guess we hope to do some fish improvement, some habitat type stuff, make some holes upstream a little bit with some riprapping, but that's next year, the year after.
So who are the contractors? Who's working on this
is Aaron Kidd. He's based out of Blair. He's got some really, really nice equipment. He makes pretty easy work of what he's doing here. It's all pretty high-tech stuff. Everything is GPSed and mapped out where there's hardly any soil disturbed that doesn't need to be. Everything is really neat and does a really, really good job. I mean, it's really impressive to watch him work.
That is, and they're doing, when did they start? You said it was?
Just 2 days ago. We've been trying to get this permitted since spring, and we finally got everything through with the DNR and the county. Everything is approved, and it took a little longer than we hoped, but it's done now. And as I said, by this weekend, it should be totally done, seeded. And there's not a lot of moving parts. It's pretty maintenance-free.
Yeah.
Once it's done, it's just a matter of mowing and picking up litter, unfortunately, and that's about it.
So you said there's also going to be primitive camping here?
Well, it's an option. We're not going to discourage it. The trails that are back here, as I said, they're for walking. It's for that type of use, or even here for that matter. We're not going to. There won't be any facilities of any kind, but.
Yeah, but if they wanted to camp here, they
we want to keep it as it is as much as possible. Being in a floodplain too, any type of bathrooms, things like that would be really,
Well, yeah.
just wouldn't be practical.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that kind of place.
So I assume that because we're down here by the river and it does flood, that what is going in here is going to be impervious to flood
Well,
waters?
we hope so. The one that we've had by Roderings has been there for 22 years. That's what this is based off of, and it's, if you go there later and get some video of it, it lays out almost, this is actually probably 2 feet higher from the water's normal flow than that one is. And that, it gets flooded, but the way it's built, it really doesn't damage it in any way. Everything is impervious to flooding.
Right.
But yeah, it gets water over it, the water goes away, and nothing washes away. It's, it works real well here.
So what made the club decide that they were going to do this?
Well, it's been on people's minds for a really, really long time, mine especially, and the land came up for sale. We had tried to buy it for several years, and it just wasn't for sale, but it came up for sale. We jumped on it, and it kind of ties in with the rest of the Trempealeau River system's stops between Whitehall here. They're all about 2 hours apart, maybe 3, depending on how fast you go. And it kind of it would have been sort of a long way to go all the way from Whitehall to Independence in one afternoon. But here, it kind of breaks it up. You know, if you decide to go past, so be it. But it's probably a normal day, a 2.5 hour float from Whitehall to here, which is just about right. You know, versus going all the way 6 hours to town.
So do you have a canoe or a kayak?
Yeah, we've got several. We've been doing this forever, and my kids do, and all the friends from high school and a lot of others. It's a pretty big deal. The landing by Roderings, there'll be 30 or 40 cars there on the 4th of July weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets used a lot. People will see this because being along the highway, how much it actually gets used.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely get utilized. I don't know about that.
Many years ago, when my sons were small, we took a canoe and we went in here and went down to Petrick Park. And yeah, it's amazing how, you know, the river, it takes a while.
Yeah, it's slow. I mean, you can go fast if you want, but there's no reason for that really. Yeah, and this stretch here, from here to Whitehall, there's a little bit of brush across, but from here all the way to Petrick Park, it's smooth going. You might have to steer on a couple things, but there's no blockages. Historically, there's never been any. Every year it changes with flooding and different things, but it's always opened up enough where you can get through.
So the actual where you put in the boat is it be right here or over there?
It's going to be over there where he's working right now. We don't really want to get in his way, but
no,
we can maybe come back later, or he's actually digging right now. The parking lot area is roughed in. Right now he's sloping it back from the water to the parking lot area. And then those piles of stone or cement slats are going to be what the actual ramp is. And then it'll be riprap 30 feet upstream and downstream from it just to hold the bank in place. And as I said, in probably a year, it'll look like it's been here forever.
Yeah.
It just kind of naturally sets in this area really, really well. We didn't move anything at all, just a little bit of dirt, and it was replaced with gravel for a firm parking area, and that's pretty much it. The most dirt that'll actually be removed is what he's taking out now to make a little bit of a ramp to get into the water, because it was sort of a steeper bank before he started.
And what did you say they were going to do with the sand and dirt that they...
That's going to the town of Lincoln shop. Jack Spearstra had given us the okay to put it there, and I think they have a use for it. If not, it's really nice clean sand that it's useful for different types of building or filling of things. It's really clean. I mean, it's like beach sand, all of it is.
And it's just, I guess a lot of people don't normally think of the Trempealeau River as being a canoeing river. I mean, it's not like whitewater.
No, it's pretty calm, docile. It's kind of shallow in spots, but it's right in your backyard.
Yeah, and you don't have to be an expert, right?
No, not bad, not at all. It's pretty easy going, and as I said, it's right in your backyard. It's kind of a low impact thing to do that some people don't realize is here. But this and the other new ones that are being constructed will increase a lot of that, I think.
So there's already one in place there down by Petrick Park, and then there's going to be one in Four Seasons Park?
There is one in Four Seasons. There is. The one in Petrick's is kind of It's nothing more than just a lower slope bank that you can pull out of. And then the one at Four Seasons is really nice. It's similar to this. The one at the crossroads just south of Independence is going to be just like this, but this is going to be just like that. And the one in Whitehall hasn't really been maintained or anything done with it for decades, but that's going to be brought up to code too, where it'll be user friendly.
Yeah. Well, that's
so they all kind
thing.
of tie in. Like I said, it's about a 2 to 2.5 hours between stops.
Right.
And if you decide not to stop at one, you can go to the other and time it all
I've
however
had
you wish.
enough.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh,
So that's the
that's
plan with
great.
this anyway.
Yeah, no, I think that's really
Yeah,
interesting.
this one just kind of fell into place, and it couldn't be easier to access. And
Right, it's
and,
right
yeah,
off
it's right,
the
yeah,
121 here.
Yeah.
So this is really, it's interesting, and it's back in here. And
Yeah, and the club will mow it and keep it as clean as we can, just like the other. So if you go look at the other, that's what this will be modeled after.
And this one will have signage so people know
Yeah,
where to
there'll be
get
a
out.
sign on those 2 posts we put in. That'll hopefully go out Saturday. And then there'll also be other sign with some actual wordage that describes who did it and who paid for it. Things. If you look at the one by Road Rings, you'll see how that one's signed. This one will be the same way.
Yeah, well, that's a great project, and it's just one more thing that if you're considering coming to Trempealeau County and you want something to do next summer, bring your kayak, bring your canoe.
Yeah, and I can't really speak for it, but I know the county has plans for a river trail system. That's not my department, but this kind of falls into that. It'll work with that. What they're hoping to do too.
So before we end here, let's talk a little bit about the Rod and Gun Club. What kind of things do they? What kind of projects
the Rod
do
and
they
Gun
do?
Club, we have probably 700 acres of land. A couple of 3 of these canoe landings. Everything we own is entirely open to the public, you know, within reason. But for any type of outdoor stuff. And we fund pretty much exclusively everything by our ice fishing contest, which is the first Saturday in February every year.
Ice or no ice, right?
It doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. But yeah, it'll happen no matter sun, rain, or shine. And that's kind of how everything is funded, this including. And and then we do a ton of other projects. Now we're raising trout on our own, and a lot of trout stream habitat work, and planting trees.
Kids fishing contest,
the kids,
right?
the
Very
kids
popular.
fishing contest is a very big thing. Yeah, that's something I forgot about. Yeah, that's every Saturday before Mother's Day, and that draws a lot of there's a lot of interest in that. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's a great event.
Yeah,
so it's nice to see a club that's really into lots of different projects.
Yeah. Right now there's too many to. If you bring them up, I'll remember them. But there's just a lot of stuff going on, kind of all the time.
Yeah.
Too.
If somebody wants to join your club or they want to donate towards some of these, who would they get a hold of?
You can contact me. You can put my phone number on the end of this. Bob Petrick at Petrick Station's always a big push behind this, and he's always there. Yep, he's always there. And our president is Mike Blaha. If you see him around, ask him. But yeah, everybody's welcome to join, and you don't have to hunt or fish. It's not only that, but there's stuff like this.
Help out.
Yeah, there's stuff like this. There's always something going on.
Yep, there's all kinds of good projects.
Oh, another thing too, speaking of this here, since it is between Independence and Whitehall, I spoke to the teachers that it would kind of pertain to in Whitehall and Independence, and they're welcome to use it for whatever they want.
Right.
Yeah, it's here for
the school kids too.
Anything,
that's great.
The landing is plus the acreage with it.
Yeah. It's nice, kind of ties in with the improvements they make to Petrick Park.
Everything kind of works together,
Yeah.
Yep. This is sort of a middle link to all that, and we're very fortunate to have been able to buy it. It's been on our minds for a lot of years, and it finally just kind of came together.
So it's just 11 acres that you
It's 11
bought
acres.
Here.
It's through that red gate, which I said it's walk-in only, but there's trails mowed back there, very similar to Petrick's Park. And one border is the highway, 121, the other is the river, and then there's a fence on the town of Lincoln side. So it's not signed, but it's pretty easy to figure out,
so it's
where
nice,
the borders are.
Yeah.
If you don't go in the river or across the highway or across the fence, you're all right.
Walking trails are fun. You could bring your dog out here, I would
just watch the trails
imagine.
and go on the highway. And,
Sure.
But it's far enough away from the highway back there
Yeah.
where you shouldn't
Yeah,
have
this
that
is a
too much
nice
problem.
area.
Yeah, it'll work out. And as I said a few times, when this is done, it'll look just like the one by Road Rings,
Yeah.
and with more acreage attached to it.
Okay. Well, Kevin and I might get in the car and take
Yeah.
a drive over there so we can see what the Rotring one looks
Yep,
like.
you'll see the final product there.
Yes,
And
what this will look like.
Yep, and I said by next year at this time, this will all be grown in with, it'll look like it's been here forever. It just naturally falls into
Yeah.
the landscape so perfectly
Yeah.
that we didn't have to disturb really hardly
No,
anything.
this
Just
is
scratch
nice.
a little bit of ground to put gravel in and slope the bank a little bit for those cattle slat things, and it kind of fell into place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are like, what you call them, like cattle
Slats, yeah. They're actually, we got those from the Waldera farm.
You get those?
They donated them to us to use.
Oh, they
And
did?
they were used on the other one too. After a while,
Nice.
they'll get kind of covered up with a little bit of silt,
Yeah.
but they'll be underneath there for solid footing. Every time it floods, they get a little silt on them, and we don't bother to clean it off because the next time it floods,
Sure.
it washes them off.
Yeah.
So it's
That's a great.
well, once they're put in place, they'll be there forever.
Yeah.
There's rock underneath them, and then those are put on top, and yeah, it gives you a firm footing, so it's never well, it's muddy, but you aren't going to sink up to your knees.
Right.
It's just.
So who did the engineering on this project?
It was based off the other canoe landing we had, and then the county, I don't really know who to give credit for sure there, but Jack Hayes was one guy that he passed the plans along to a lady named Haley Passow, I believe, and then she passed them on to the DNR, and then everything got approved. You know, went through the proper channels, and the basic plan was the one from the other one with some modification for this site. So.
Because you know there are a lot of hoops to jump through. You can't just put in like
No, we thought we
anywhere.
being maybe some Polish heritage was involved. We thought we could just do it, but we found out that's not you got to do it the right way. Otherwise, there'll be problems. So
it might take a little longer, but in the end, it all works out.
Yeah, we were hoping to have this done in the spring. It'll be done for ice skating, but it's all right. It'll be here forever now.
Yeah.
It's it was a little frustrating, but that's just the nature of that, I guess.
Yeah. All right, Darrell, thanks for coming out and
Yeah,
meeting
thanks
us.
for showing us off, and stop by and look at it when it's done.
Well, maybe
it'll be done tomorrow, we hope.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be seeded by Monday, and it'll, like I said, it'll be here forever. It's a real simple layout. Things will be mowed that are mowed now, and it just kind of falls in to the landscape.
Well, it's a great thing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your time.